it looks like we are not done yet. The UFC has dropped even more fight announcements. The first being Kamaru Usman returning from nearly 2 years off, or actually over 2 years off, to fight Joaquin Buckley in the headliner of UFC Atlanta on June 14th. Okay, this is a huge matchup. This could be a #1 contenders fight. We could be getting Buckley title shot with a win here, which is crazy to think about considering how far he's come. It's really exciting. Now, the co-main event is Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Obviously, much less exciting than the main event, but still a high-ranked fight with a former champion. So I'm not going to complain about it. It looks like, one, we're headed back to crowds, and two, we're getting sick fight nights again. We're starting to move away from the Apex. Obviously, there's still some Apex cards coming up. Some of them that I'm really disappointed, like Michael Morales and Gilbert Burns being in the main event of an Apex card. I feel like they deserve better than that, especially given that they were supposed to be on UFC 314. But UFC Atlanta, looking pretty dope. UFC Baku as well. They're going to Azerbaijan the week after this. We'll get to that in a second, but I want to talk about this matchup right here. Usman has lost 3 fights in a row. He's been out for a very long time. He got head kick KO'd by Leon Edwards and then lost a decision in a trilogy fight with Leon Edwards. And then he took a Khamzat Chimaev middleweight fight on like 2 weeks notice or 10 days notice, something like that, when Paulo Costa had to pull out. Went to a majority decision. One of the judges had it as a draw, but a majority decision win for Khamzat. He's been out since then. Buckley had 4 wins in 2024, including finishing Colby Covington and knocking out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's been on an absolute tear. Now, I got to be honest. Buckley's going to knock Usman out. That's the way I view this fight going. The wrestling is going to be the deciding factor of this fight because Buckley is way faster and way more explosive, way more powerful than Kamaru Usman on the feet. So it's a matter of if Usman can clinch wrestle, fence wrestle, and top control lay and pray his way to a decision. That's what I feel. I don't think Buckley's getting knocked out, but I think Usman very well could. So Buckley is going to come out hard and fast, and he's going to put the pressure on Usman. Usman's going to have ring rust. He's been out forever. And I think Buckley's going to KO him. It might be a little bit later in the fight, round 3, 4, or 5, but I think it's going to be a KO win for Buckley, and he's going to call for a title shot, honestly. The very next week, they are in Baku, Azerbaijan, which is random that this is the main event for it. But we have Khalil Rountree, which was supposed to be on UFC 303, and then it was rebooked one other time, I believe. And now we're actually getting the fight. Or maybe it wasn't rebooked, but it was, pushed back, not like an injury type of thing. 2 sick main events in fight nights, back-to-back weeks. The UFC is actually trying now. Dana White might be on his way out of the UFC. He might step away and let Hunter Campbell take the reins, maybe even by the end of this year, with all of his new ventures, such as being on the board at Meta, the new boxing promotion that he's involved in, and plenty of other things. Power slap as well. Hunter Campbell being the guy in charge, which he has been for a while. I'm liking this, okay? I like this. Back-to-back weeks, and then the week before Usman Buckley is Merab versus Sugar Sean rematch, and then we have Usman Buckley, and then Hill Rountree, and then the week after that is UFC 317, which is going to be probably Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. So we're going to get a crazy stacked month of June and July. We're getting spoiled, guys. I know we're always spoiled and we complain about Apex cards and things like that, but the UFC's really, for real, trying now because we have Hill versus Rountree Jr. fight night main event with a Rafael Fiziev Ignacio Bahamondes co-main event, who's from Azerbaijan. And then we have Usman in the main event of a fight night against Joaquin Buckley. This very well could have been a pay-per-view co-main. It could have been the co-main event to something like UFC 318, where you have Holloway and Poirier as a BMF fight in the main event. This could have been a co-main. Like, our complaints as a community and as a fan base have actually been heard. Maybe it's because Hunter Campbell is taking the reins a little bit more and maybe he listens to the fan base. If this is the case, I love it. I love it. Regards to this fight, I think Jamahal Hill is going to win. I know that there's a lot of doubt on Jamahal Hill with back-to-back losses. He looked really out of shape for the Yuri Prohaska fight, in my opinion. I think he's going to win. Khalil Rountree low-key sucks. and I think Jamahal Hill is going to knock him out. This fight, very tricky, but Fiziev is coming off of a hard-fought loss against Justin Gaethje. Bahamondes is coming off of a kind of rollover win against Jalen Turner, because Jalen Turner was basically retired before the fight anyway, as in terms of emotionally, mentally, all that. He was checked out, ready to retire. So I'm going with Fiziev based on their last fights and also just based on the high-level competition that Fiziev has faced. I'm a little bit surprised at this matchup. I thought that after getting Gaethje, he would get a higher matchup than this. And he also mentioned going to 145 pounds. So a little confused by this one, but they probably said, hey, do you want to fight in your home country? This is the first and maybe only time we ever go there in your career. If you want to fight in your home country, you have to fight an unranked guy. This is who's available right now. Honestly, that's probably how it came together. Now, looking at the rest of the cards for the next 10 weeks or so through mid-July, it's that spring and summer schedule. It's actually pretty sick. Corey Sandhagen, Davison Figueiredo on May 3rd. So, I mean, we got Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates tomorrow. And then we have Corey Sandhagen, Davison Figueiredo next week with a Bo Nickel Renner to Ritter main event. And then we have UFC 315, JDM Bilal. And then Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. I hate that this is in the Apex, but it's a good main event for an Apex. Then we have a card that they might as well have just thrown aside and given us a week off. Oh, they do take a week off. Oh, wow. That's basically 3 weeks off for the UFC because they are taking off the 24th, and then this card's basically an off night, and then they're basically taking 3 weeks off. But I wish they would just drop this card and give us a couple other, like, less cards, better quality. Anyways, Merab versus O'Malley 2, Usman versus Buckley, Hill versus Khalil Rountree and Baku. We just talked about those. Topuria, it's most likely going to be Topuria versus Makhachev. It could be Topuria versus Oliveira. And then we got Derek Lewis, Taliesin Teixeira in Nashville. And then the week after that, we got 318 at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. So we're lined up we're going to be eating good. Like some of these comments right here, I disagree with. We went from one of the best UFC or one of the best years in MMA to the worst. Strongly disagree. But I think Hunter Campbell's in charge, running the show, probably about 90% now. And I think that that's why we're getting these sick matchups. I think that Hunter Campbell's the next guy. It's no secret that he is, but I think that he's actually going to take them further than they've been in the last year or two, because the UFC has felt very stagnant. And if they see that that's the case, which it is, but if they see it, they're going to book these super fights that they have out there. Islam and Ilya, DDP Hamzat, Jones Aspinall. They'll do everything they can to get those fights. So let me know your thoughts down below. What are you most excited for? What do you think about Usman Buckley, Hill versus Rountree? Do you think Ilya is going to fight Islam? Let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month, and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out, linked below.